Most people live as if they're never going to die. They waste time, they avoid risk, and they put off the dreams for someday, as if life is unlimited. But here's the truth. Someday, you are going to die. And the sooner that you openly accept it, the more alive you'll become. The Stoics had a phrase for this. Memento Mori. Remember, you must die. But this isn't about fear, worry, or panic. It's actually about freedom. And today, I'm going to show you how embracing your own mortality can truly make you unstoppable. Welcome to this episode of Success by Design, the podcast where we talk all things to help us create the best version of ourselves possible, where we utilize all the best self and personal development tools available. Today, we're going to understand how accepting that death comes for us all. And it isn't depressing, but it's actually extremely freeing. The philosophy of Memento Mori. Memento Mori isn't just a depressive reminder of death. It's a call to action for all who know its true intention and purpose. The great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Now, when people hear this for the first time, especially to those people with little understanding of philosophy, especially Stoicism, they jump onto the reactive, depressing shout, "Oh, that's so depressing, talking about dying. Don't be so miserable." But they don't take the time to respond or to think deeply about what the phrase entails. It isn't meant to be depressing. Far from it. It's meant to wake you up. If you knew you had a week left to live, what would you stop worrying about? What would you finally have the courage to go do? Seneca took this further by saying, "You act like mortals in all that you fear, and like immortals in all that you desire." We fear things that don't matter, other people's opinions, failing, rejection, whilst wasting time as if we had an unlimited supply of it. And that's the real tragedy. We sit on social media for hours a day, mindlessly scrolling, forgetting that our time here is limited. We sit quietly and still, not living a fulfilled and free life. We're fearful of judgment from people who sit fearful of judgment from others, living in their own self-hatred. How can we expect them to like us when they hate themselves? Remember, you will die. Then who's there to judge? Who'll care? You certainly won't. You won't be here. We imagine we'll have some lasting effect on everyone. We think of ourselves as the center of the universe, but our time and impression upon it will likely be very, very fleeting. People will be sad that you're gone, and maybe some will be glad, who knows. But one thing will carry on. Other people's lives. There'll be tears and memories, and eventually those will fade too. And new generations will rise up and they'll take our place. And with each passing generation, those memories of us that were once strong, they will fade with each passing season, until eventually there are no memories of us anymore. When you stop fearing death, you can truly start to live. When you stop fearing the impact that you'll make, you'll then be free to make a positive one. Great warriors, leaders, and thinkers throughout history have used Memento Mori as a guiding principle. The samurai lived by the idea that to be fearless in life, you have to accept death in advance. So what about in modern times? The highest performers in business, sports, and in personal development, they all operate with a deep understanding that time is short. So they move and operate differently. It's sad to see people don't try because they might make a mistake, because they might fail. Well, I'll tell you one thing I absolutely know is a truth. You absolutely will fail. You'll mess up. You'll make an absolute mess of so many things that you try. So many times, especially if you dare to try difficult things that are just above your level of ability, just outside of your comfort zone. For certain, you will embarrass yourself massively. You might start a martial arts class and stumble in your first class. You might write a book and no one reads it. You might post a selfie online on social media and no one likes it. You might go and compete and lose every single match you've ever done. You might go sing a song on stage and be completely out of tune. But one day, none of it will matter one bit to anybody. So be free. Go and do that thing. How many of us allow our relationships to quietly wither? It's pretty heartbreaking to see couples, especially those once deeply in love, reduced to just coexisting with each other. The words of affection go unsaid. Encouragement is just withheld. And people start finding things to swipe at each other about. And slowly they just drift apart. They stop seeing each other. And not physically, but emotionally, spiritually. But here is where Memento Mori becomes much more than mere philosophy. It becomes a tool for our transformation, a tool to add to our toolbox of successful design. Because one day, one of you won't be here. And when that day comes, the only thing left will be memories. Will you remember the petty arguments, the irritation about the dishes, the frustrations over the toilet seat being left up? Or will you wish that you'd loved more openly, spoke more kindly, held each other a little bit longer, told each other exactly what mattered, exactly what was in your heart? Memento Mori reminds us that time is short, not just for us, but for those that we love. So speak the words, apologize first, celebrate the small moments. Because death doesn't ask if you're ready, it just comes. And all that's left is what you gave while you had the chance. So how do we implement Memento Mori into our modern everyday lives? Here's a few actionable tips. 1, stop postponing. That thing that you keep saying that you'll do one day. Treat it like you don't have unlimited time, because you don't. So take action today. Set a date in your diary or on your calendar and make the plans now to go and do that thing. 2, eliminate fear. The fear of embarrassment, the fear of failing or judgment. None of it matters in the end. Ask yourself, if this was my last year alive, would I care about this? If I knew I was going to die tomorrow and it was all over with, would I really care what someone that I barely know thought of me? 3, end the day with perspective. Before you go to sleep, reflect. Use this as a journal prompt. If today had been my last, did I live well? If not, change something tomorrow. Carry a reminder. The Stoics would meditate on death daily. Some carried coins or wore rings inscribed with Memento Mori. Find a way to keep it in front of you. Personally, I have a couple of different coins I have carried with me. My wife got me a coin over a decade ago and I still use it now. 5, embrace gratitude. Now, if you've ever been coached by me, like on my courses, or you've listened to me speak, you'll know how often and for how long I've spoke about this. But now use the reminder of Memento Mori that life is fleeting to empower you with one of the greatest emotions that we are blessed with, gratitude. Think how blessed we are that as of yet we haven't been taken away. We still get to experience all of the glory that this world has to offer us. If you can take nothing else from the Stoic tenet other than that, then this podcast has been worth every bit of your 10 minutes of listening time. Now, on closing, you don't get to choose how long that you live, but you do get to choose how fully you live. How much of your life are you embracing? How much joy do you allow in your life? How much joy do you give out to other people? You could leave life right now. So, what's stopping you? Live like time is short, because it is. If this episode hit you hard, please share it with someone else who needs the wake-up call. And remember that success isn't just about achieving, it's about how you live every day. If you're not subscribed, now is the time to get subscribing. And if you'd like to know more about working on development personally with me, or using one of my courses, head over to my site, tomblackledge.com, to learn more, or you can go and grab one of my books. If you fancy more episodes, click on the upcoming video link. And as always, thank you for the support. And I will see you next week on Success by Design. Take care.